Hey folks, walk with me. It's very cold out here today. I wanted to share something that I sort of ran into twice online last week, and they blended together nicely, so I thought I would do that here and share it with you all. So there was this post that I saw that was basically like, how do I get past disappointments from my partner? I think it was ambiguous whether this person was talking about it seemed as though it was like a husband or a wife, like a marriage situation, but it may have just been like a dating situation, I don't know, or something else. But the basic gist of the post was that they felt that their partner was not kind of being the partner that they would want them to be, and that they sort of felt that their partner thought the same thing about them. So, and they laid out some reasons, some ways in which they were essentially like disappointed in the partner that this person was. And then they didn't list a bunch of things about why they thought that their partner kind of thought the same thing, but just a couple of sentences indicating that it seemed like it might be mutual, though it's gone unspoken between the two of them, obviously. And what actually struck me about this was something that Thich Nhat Hanh talks about, which is the way in which you can really love a person. And I would expand this beyond ways in which you can love another person. And by love, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This can be the love of a friend, right? Friendship as it is love. But this could also be how you could really come to love yourself. To have that deep foundational love of yourself is the exact same thing as I'm going to describe here. So you can take this to think about loving yourself, loving a romantic partner, loving a friendship or a non-romantic partner, whatever it is. But there's a person out there or in there that you would like to love and you're having a hard time. This is what Thich Nhat Hanh says. He says, in order to love someone, you have to be two things. One, fully present with them in the moments that you're together. So not being distracted by other things, not being caught up in, past ways in which they've slighted you, not being caught up in future hopes that you have that you're not sure will be realized, but being with them in the moment that you have together. And also, so being present with them, and then also knowing that person deeply. And so again, this can pertain to yourself. But he says that you cannot love a person if you don't know them deeply. And I think what this person who made this post was caught up in was this archetype, right? Let's just pretend it was a wife talking about a husband. That's what it seemed like to me, but I don't know for sure. So in this instance, if it's a wife talking about a husband, she has this image, not of her actual husband, but of what a husband should be, right? That archetype character, the character of husband, the role of husband means that a person is, and then fill in all of the many blanks that you have. Right? And this can obviously be, you can replace husband with wife, or girlfriend, or best friend, or self, right? I myself, as a whatever archetype, should be da-da-dee-da-da-dee-da. The problem here is there is no way to love the person, because you're not talking about the person. You're talking about the role that they have, the moniker that they have for whatever reason. You know, in this instance, it may be for religious reasons that they got married and they're husband and wife, or it could be for legal reasons, right? That they signed a contract and legally they now have these titles with each other. But they are still the person. They don't magically morph into something else because they now have a title of best friend or girlfriend or husband, wife, whatever. And so if that's what you're in pursuit of, an image that you have of how a certain role acts, doesn't act, you're completely devoid. You've divorced yourself from being in tune with that person. That person is that person, whether they are a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a best friend or whatever. And to stay at the superficial level of this is your role, this is your title, this is the moniker, that's you bringing all of those. You're insisting that a person with that title must be certain things. You're not acknowledging that there's a real person who bears that title, and that what exists is the real person. And so if you want to love someone, you need to get past this concept of, well, if they're my best friend, they da-da-da. If I am a good person, I da-da-da. Dig in with what the actual person is. Go deep with them. Understand their hopes and their dreams. Understand why they are the way they are. And they may not know why they are the way that they are. But you can get as deep as you can get. And if you don't love them for that person, then I don't know what you do. I'm not going to give you advice on what to do with that information. But just know what you're doing. That you're not loving them for that person. You're loving them for some role that you want them to embody, something that you want them to be or become or whatever, some vision that you have that is your thing to work out with yourself. It's not their thing to fix for you. But just know that this is not the same as you loving the person. Those are different things. All right, folks. Well, I hope that your new year, now that we're a bit far into it, is sort of taking shape and that things are off to a good start. In any case, if you walked with me or watched this far, I really appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next video.